Should be. Okay, we're live. Okay, so I'm going to be the facilitator first, and then Ashley, you're the complainer, the help rejecting complainer, and Brandon, you're the monopolist first. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so um, all right, I'll just get started. Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to our second support group for diabetes. How has everyone's week been going?
Good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Pretty good. Any cravings that have been hard to resist? Any foods that you've been dying to eat that you know you shouldn't?
Fries.
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 That's a hard one.
Yeah.
What about you, Brandon?
Um, Sodas.
Oh, that's really hard. Yeah. And those are so sugary that that's something that we really have to, shy away from. So how's everyone been dealing with the diagnosis of diabetes emotionally? Has it been stressful? Is it hard when you're out in public or at someone's house and they want to feed you brownies? Has it been emotionally kind of draining?
I'm grumpy.
I bet, yeah.
Well, I try not to let um other people really determine how I'm gonna be, so I just kind of uh, I just gonna do my own thing.
Yeah. Just try to stay positive and push through
Yeah.
any negative feelings that start coming up, it sounds like. Um, what's been the hardest part since we met last with having diabetes and dealing with the diagnosis and changing diets? What do you guys think's been the hardest part of it?
I just don't have any energy. I'm really tired. Don't want to do anything. Don't like people.
That's hard.
Yeah.
I mostly feel like um should I have to be well more or less more I just find it difficult to kind of add to strict like diet guidelines and exercise guidelines. Um, I don't know. It's actually the most difficult part, just realizing that you have to stick to something a little more strict than what you're used to.
Hmm. Definitely, kind of changing your lifestyle and changing your eating habits and making it more of a priority to be aware of what you're eating, your carbs, your sugar, and also trying to be more active. Those are all things that are big changes that happen when you get diagnosed with diabetes. And so it's definitely a change. I mean, it's not something you just wake up knowing what to do. It takes time, and the transition can be difficult. Um,
I just don't
so,
have time for it. No
yeah.
time. No time.
No time. That's true. I mean, it does take a lot of time, and you have to think about what you're going to eat. You can't just be out and about and grab a cookie here and there. You really have to try to make more of an effort to come up with healthy, good snacks and stuff. Um, since I know most of us are fairly new to the diabetic diagnosis, I was thinking that it would be kind of cool in our support group if we could contact the local hospital and maybe have a nutritionist come out and talk with us in our support group and kind of give us some guidelines and some ideas and things to do in different situations. What do you guys think about that?
Well, it's a good
Um,
idea, but are we actually going to do it?
Yeah. Would you
yeah,
like to do
actually,
it
my
though?
Maybe.
What about you, Brandon? Do you think that would be a good idea?
well, my sister's actually a dietitian, and so I've already been talking to her. So I feel like it wouldn't be too much help.
Okay. Okay, so maybe it's not worth the effort. Maybe we could just find some material online and go through it. I know for me, it's kind of, um, I know that there's a lot of restrictions with diet, and I don't have anyone in the family who can help me with that. So maybe I'll just try to contact them and maybe just get out some printout information for us. Would you guys be interested in that, or is that just a waste of time for you guys?
Mm, I just think it'll sit on the fridge, and I won't pay attention. It's a great idea. It really
Yeah.
is. But will I follow it? Probably not.
Okay. And is that the same? Do you feel the same way, Brandon? Or
Um, I mean, I think it could be useful. Like I said, I've already kind of been talking and getting some materials and information, but still, there's a lot of good stuff out there that any little bit could help.
right, right. And maybe if she had just small snippets of information for us, that so then we're not having to read this huge 10-page um, paper about it, just little tiny snippets or little hints like, okay, well, see, for me, I would like her just to outline what I should eat every day. So then I just know and I don't have to put much effort into it. I know, okay, in the morning I need to have a serving of dairy and a serving of protein and a little tiny bit of uh, refined sugar or whatever. So do you think something like that, if we were able to have her kind of come up with a loose like meal plan for us, would you guys be interested in that part of it? Like how many servings of what food you should have and what you should pair them with and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it just needs to be very simplified.
Right, I agree. So then you can just
Yeah.
look at it and in a second, it's not something you have to study and look up words for and stuff like that because that takes a lot of time and nobody has that kind of time.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Brandon, were you going to say something?
Oh no. Well, I was just gonna say that I think a little simpler would be better. I mean, I like to get as much information about something as I can. I feel like if I know something inside and out, I can handle situations regarding that a lot better. But I could see the need for having it simplified for sure. It's probably a little easier to implement and stick to it that way.
Right. Right. Okay. Does anybody feel like they want to contact the hospital and talk to somebody there, or does someone want to volunteer to do that, or, I can do it if you guys don't want to.
No, I could do it.
Okay, you'd be
I
willing
can handle
to
it.
get in touch with somebody, or maybe even your sister would be willing to throw a little something together for the group.
Yeah, I could talk with her
Perfect.
for
That would
sure.
be great. Okay, that would be wonderful. There are just two other things during our group discussion that I kind of wanted to talk about. What do you guys think about doing like a cookbook, putting together quick recipe cookbooks for either breakfast, dinner, snacks, even desserts? I am having a hard time finding good recipes, and I feel like I'm always scouring the internet for them. So I didn't know how you guys felt about kind of maybe compiling a diabetic-friendly recipe book.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you guys have
Yeah.
recipes that you could submit or find recipes that you guys feel like you'd want to submit to this?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I like to cook, so
Yeah. I do too, and now it's not so. Now when you're out and about, you can't just go to the vending machine or pick up something quick. You really have to be conscious of what you're eating. So I feel like if we had a cookbook or a recipe book to rely on, we could make ahead all of these snacks and stuff and just put them in little baggies or make our lunch ahead now and stuff like that. So I think it'd really help with our diets and doing the changes, and so it doesn't make it quite so rough. Um, so we want to do the cookbook as the recipe. Do one of you want to? I know, Brandon, you're talking to the nutritionist, or your sister, Ashley.
hmm
Do you want to? If we give all the recipes to you, do you want to compile the book, or do you have time for that?
I think I might be able to fit it in my schedule. I just need a well in advance time to be able to do it.
Okay, so if we gave you all of those, let's say in a month, and then you had a month or so to put it together, do you think that would work pretty good for your schedule then?
I think that works pretty well.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'm taking notes of all of this stuff. So I'll email this all out to you guys so you can, look back on it and see what we've discussed and kind of what you guys said you would do. So I'll send that out, and that's great that you're willing to compile that for us. So we'll get some recipes over the next couple weeks. Maybe if you guys want to bring a couple recipes to every meeting, I'll collect them until we have a good amount, and then I'll give them to Ashley to input for us. So perfect. The last thing that I kind of wanted to discuss is exercise. I know we talked about earlier a little bit about how, I mean, this diagnosis is such a big lifestyle change, and how exercise really becomes a big part of it in staying healthy. How are you guys doing with exercise and becoming more active?
Eh. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot better, making a lot of progress. So I feel like it'll just get better.
Right. It's all about baby steps. Do you guys think that it would help if maybe once a week or twice a week, if we set a time like, okay, 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to meet at the community center and walk around, go for a 2-mile walk. And if you can make it, great. If you can't, that's fine too. But just so, I know it's easier to exercise with friends and when you're, able to get out and enjoy other people's company. Do you think that would be kind of a fun program to put together?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that you could to come to that if we had to? I know you probably couldn't come to all of them, but do you think you guys would be able to come to some of them at least?
I think
I think so.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can put a little something together since you guys are doing the cookbook and talking with your sister, the nutritionist, about some guidelines for us. I can put this together. Do you guys? How do you guys think we can reach more people? This would be great if we could get a big group of people come into our support group. How do you guys think that we can get, kind of get it out into the community a little bit more?
Maybe advertising by posters. It's time consuming. Find someone who's willing to actually reach out to people.
Right. And also probably just word of mouth. I mean, if you guys are at the doctor's office or, you have an appointment with your dietitian, maybe just, if you're sitting by somebody who's there for the same thing, maybe talking about it, or we could have little flyers to hand out or post at the grocery store. I was also thinking that maybe, getting in contact with the local hospitals and asking if we could put a few flyers in their dietitian office there so that they could hand out or suggest that, hey, there's a support group for people who are newly diagnosed with diabetes and stuff like that, and that might get a lot of people interested. I think it'd be great. The more the merrier, and the more suggestions and information we might have from other people who've maybe had it longer than we have. Do you guys think it would be great? It would be a good idea to make our group bigger, or do you guys kind of like it small, or?
I think the more the merrier.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's about the end of our meeting. We'll just meet same time, same place next week, and I'll go ahead and work on getting some flyers out. And do you guys want to set up this Thursday at 7 for at least the people who are here to meet, if they can, for a walk?
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Okay, perfect. So we'll plan on this Thursday, and then I'll get out some flyers and some information about getting it set up at least twice a week, and then we can always add to it or take away depending on what everyone's schedule is.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Well, then I guess I will see you guys next week.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay. I think that was 15 minutes. It doesn't record the time for me, so
It's about 15 minutes. I'm watching the
Okay,
clock.
I thought, okay, feels like I've been talking a long time. So it feels kind of funny, pretend. So who would like to
Yeah.
go next?
Brandon, you want to go next? Or do you want me to? Even though
Yeah. I don't have like a an exact outline. Or,
that's okay, I don't either.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just showing that you can like
Talk.
yeah, and you can start a discussion and direct comments and stuff like that. I don't know.
Okay.
okay.
So, okay,
Doesn't
so
matter.
Brandon, are you going next?
Yeah. So,
Okay. Well then I guess I'll be the complainer now
Okay.
and the help rejecting, and then Ashley, you can be the monopolist.
Okay.
Okay.
okay. Um. All right. Just wanna welcome everybody to our support group. Just walking with everybody how their week has gone, and um, if you any goals that you have won and met, or anything new that's happened.
Well, it's been an okay week. It's been kind of hard adjusting, and I thought that I got some information from my nutritionist, and I thought it was going to be great, and she's going to give me all sorts of information, and really she didn't give me very much. It's harder than I thought. I feel lost, and I mean, I ask for help and then I get it, but I don't really feel like it's good help, and I just don't know. And goals, I haven't really set any. I need to, but it's just so much work.
I agree. I'm lazy. I don't want to do anything. I have a family who needs me to just be there, and I don't even want to help them. So I just need to find a balance between good things and bad things, and how to kind of work in a new routine into my life. I think that's my hardest part so far.
Okay, it definitely adjusting to a new routine and a new part of our lives, and I think though it'll be most different. So has there been anything that you've found that you've been able to do a little bit better? I mean, it doesn't have to be everything, because everything can be a little, once. Any, like little things that you had week
I'm doing better not eating sweets
or
because my
something?
family supports me. So
Okay.
they don't keep them in the house. My husband doesn't let me go shopping and buy them. So that's been a small change that I can, but eating healthy can still be kind of difficult for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, what were you saying something?
Oh, I was just a. So.
Okay. Well, I have made some headway. I have tried to just start, watching my sugar intake and making sure if I snack on something that it's either low in sugar or no sugar, sugar free. But really, I feel like I'm drowning and it's just so much work, like I said, and I feel lost and I am trying, but I just feel like everything I try doesn't work very good.
Okay. Well, are you finding, is there one thing in particular that you're finding is kind of the most difficult for you?
I think just being consistent, like I was used to eating whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and now I not only have to watch what I eat, but when I eat it, the intervals in which I eat it, and it's not like a habit for me. So I go to the pantry when I want a snack and oh, I can't have anything in the pantry. I have to go make myself something, which I only have a couple minutes anyways. So then I don't eat, and then I feel even worse because I haven't eaten, and my body is getting, how it gets when you don't eat. So I guess it's just getting in the habit and knowing how to get in the habit.
I would agree with that. I feel
Ha
like there's so many things we can't have.
I agree.
Very much restricted on our diets. And I don't like to be restricted. I like to do whatever I want.
Mhm.
yeah, that's nice. Um, however, it's important. This is a big part of our lives now, and I think if we take the overwhelming aspect and break it into like smaller, uh, just little smaller parts we can tackle on better. It's a lot easier than most giant leaps. So regarding the restrictions and stuff, have both of you doing like a food journal?
Hmm.
Hmm.
No, but that's
Because
a
I've
good
been trying
idea.
that. hmm
Yeah.
Been trying that, and I feel like that really has helped me a little bit. Yeah, it seems like you are yourself a little more, keeping a journal and setting times of when you can eat certain things. But it really has helped me. So, do you think maybe that would help you out, Ashley?
Yeah, I think it would really help me. I just need reminders to be able to do those kinds of things. So I know I have like an app on my phone that I could record something. I don't know if that would be better, or do you think it would be better to like write it down so I physically am like holding myself accountable? What do you think is better to do?
Well, I kind of feel like there is value in writing something down, in value. But honestly, it's whatever works best for you. Whatever is going to help you to remember better and to stick to it better.
Okay. Maybe try both and see which one works best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds like a good idea, and I think it is a great idea, but so, I mean, if I'm out and about and I grab something, while I'm out, am I really gonna stop and do that? Probably not. But I think it's a great idea. I just don't know if it will work for me. Any other suggestions?
What about if you had a person that you reported to and you could have them hold you accountable? That way they know what you're eating and you know what you're eating because they'll tell you what you're eating. It's just a
That's a good
thought.
idea.
That's
I don't know if
true.
anybody likes me enough to do that, though.
Mhm.
Mm.
But
I'm
I'll
sure
try.
that's not. All right. So I think if we can try working on a little bit better, just that's one small step we can take and just see it out. And If it doesn't, on our next meeting, we can come back and just figure out what we can do differently to help make that work. Okay, next thing. What about, have you guys found it's been difficult to schedule for like testing your blood and level and stuff? How have
Hmm.
you handled that?
I have an alarm that I have to do. I feel like it's so time consuming. It might just be a prick, but I don't want to prick myself with a needle. And if I don't have someone telling me when to do it, probably not going to do it. So I just have to set my alarm to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hate it. I don't like doing it. I'm with Ashley. I have to do some sort of reminder to remind me to do it because it's not on top of my mind. Again, it's just not a habit of mine because it's a new thing that I'm doing. I feel kind of embarrassed by it sometimes, like, oh, let me whip out my blood sugar measurer, and I don't know. I feel like now I'm in, oh, she's diabetic, so I just don't know. I don't like to do it in public. I know I should, but it's just a pain, and I don't know. I don't want people to think I'm weird. So how do
Okay.
you guys, I mean, do you guys just do it anywhere?
Yeah, I do. My mom is actually also diabetic, and so I've learned from her that you just kind of have to suck it up and do what you have to do. It sucks. I would agree it sucks, but it's part of life. I think you just have to do it.
I
Yeah.
get
And honestly, I feel like it's not as people don't think you're as weird as you might think. Diabetes has um it's grown a lot lately. There's a lot more people have it, and so I think it's a lot more common, and people understand the difficulties that go along with it. I really haven't found um, people were thinking of was weird. To me, it's just not that big a deal. But I mean, I can definitely see, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sometimes.
I guess maybe I just haven't accepted the reality of it yet. Maybe once I do, I won't be so unhappy about it and cranky.
Right.
That should be the biggest challenge, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what about um, what about like stress and diabetes is a pretty serious disease, and it's definitely a hard diagnosis to take, I think. So how have you both been handling the stress of it and um, dealing with it?
I don't deal with stress well, but I think the most important thing that I've applied since my diagnosis is incorporating my family, trying to get them to support me and to help me through it. I have little kids, and so trying to get them on the same page, like, mommy can't eat this, mommy can't eat that, but then they also want to play. So it helps me to exercise is difficult, so playing with my kids can sometimes be my exercise. So I think having my whole family involved has helped me not stress out about the situation as much as I could be.
Yeah, I guess I probably could. I should get my family more involved, like you do, Ashley. I don't know if they would want to be involved or even really help with it, or even if they know anything much about it. But I guess I've just been trying to deal with it in like probably not a very good way. I just kind of ignore it and I just pretend that everything is still normal. I just act like, oh, I don't eat sugar anymore. Um, but like I said, I probably just need to learn to accept it and just try to be healthy because that's the important thing. I do get stressed out though when I think like, okay, if I don't take care of myself, the consequences could be really serious. So I get stressed out about the seriousness of what could happen if I don't start paying more attention, if I don't make more of an effort. I just feel super overwhelmed right now, and hopefully it'll get better. I don't know if it will, but I hope it does.
Okay. Yeah, I think getting support is a part. Obviously, we're all looking for that support, which is why we're part of this group. Sometimes you hate people that are going through things as you, um, but sticking to your family, obviously they're a big part of your life. I think they'll be there for you. So, what are ways that you want to try on getting them more involved, Danny?
I guess just maybe talking to them more and I guess asking for their help. I haven't really asked for it, and I guess if I ask for it, I'm not always very good at accepting it. I might say, "Oh, Mom, I need your help," or ask my husband for help to help me better manage my diabetes and hold me responsible and stuff like that. But then sometimes if he offers it, I'm like, "No, I don't need your help. I got it." So I guess accepting it is the hardest part. And like
Mm-hmm.
accepting the help, accepting the diagnosis and accepting the help. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, any goals or anything that you want to set for this next week, either of you?
I think it's eating healthy, reminding myself that I can reverse this. I just have to do my part, and so I think I just need more of an effort this week.
yeah, same with me. I need to, maybe start a food journal or just take more time meal planning and snack planning so I don't feel so lost when I get hungry or when it's dinner time and oh, the rest of my family can eat this, but I can't. Um, so I guess I just need my goal this week is just to take more time to um, plan out my meals, plan out my snacks, and just devote um, more time to learning about the disease and learning how best to deal with it and what kind of foods to eat and what to avoid and stuff like that. So I guess that's my goal.
Okay. Awesome. I'm going to, uh, I think, um, just work on the exercise and physical activity a bit more. I've kind of been a little bit slacking the last week, but um, I just keep saying to myself every day, I'm gonna control this, and it's not gonna control me. So that's something I'm gonna work on. Um, and all right, so all awesome comments and goals, everybody, and thanks for coming to our week, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right.
Ah.
Hold on. Sorry, my wife came in the room and moved the curtain.
That's okay. Was she holding your little baby?
Yeah, one of our three. So.
Oh, cute. Um, Okay, so I guess you're up, Ashley, and I'm the monopolist this time, and Brandon, you're the complainer.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to our support group for diabetes. This is our first meeting, and I just kind of wanted to start our meeting with everyone introducing themselves. And when you introduce yourself, I want you to let everybody else know why you're here. What do you want to get out of this support group? So whoever wants to go first can just talk for a minute or two of why you're here and what you want to get out of this experience.
Okay, I'll go first. I'm Danny Thompson. I'm newly diagnosed with diabetes. It's been a big change in my life, but I'm really glad to be here. I love to give people information about diabetes. I've done a lot of research, so I really like to tell people about it. Um, I, I, what else were we supposed to say?
Just what you want to get out of the group
Oh,
and why you're here.
what I want to get out of the group, I guess, is just any additional information that people might have that I don't have, ideas, tips, and also I just want to get involved. And if I can help somebody, that's great. I've been helped, so I'd like to help other people. I'd like to, um, impart any knowledge I have or volunteer for any events that we might have or put on. I just want to get involved and help other people, and in return, help myself.
Awesome. Thank you, Danny. Brandon, what about you?
Well, um, I don't know. Recently I've got diabetes, but it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of a big, like, I don't know. I don't want to have to change the things I do. And honestly, the only reason I'm really here is because my doctor said, I probably should join a support group, and my wife wants me to, but I really don't know if it's going to help me very much.
Okay.
Oh, it totally will, Brandon. I believe that it will. Um, it's one of those things that the more people you know that can help and lift you, really can change your mood about it, and can help you see the positive in the diagnosis and help you see, how these are positive changes.
Yeah, thank you, Danny. I agree. I think that the more people that you have come together and the more support that you actually have, the better the outcome can be, because when we have other people to lead on, then we don't feel so alone. When I was first diagnosed with diabetes, I didn't know anybody that had it. It didn't really run in my family. It was just by poor choices. But as I joined a support group, and now that I've started my own support group, I've been able to see so much benefit in the lives of other people. So I do hope that we can cater to the needs that you have today. I just wanted to ask, what kind of symptoms have you guys been feeling? Have you been thirsty? Have you been hungry? Have you been craving foods that you know you shouldn't eat? Are you guys tired? What kind of things have you been experiencing that are different now than they have been in the past? Obstacles that you're experiencing.
Well, I have had the dry mouth really bad. So that's been kind of a pain and annoying and stuff like that. And I've also been more tired than normal, and it's been hard to resist the cravings to go and eat a chocolate bar or have a bagel with strawberry cream cheese. Stuff like that has been really hard to resist and to stifle those cravings. But for the most part, I'm just trying to look on the bright side and just, trying to learn as much as I can and talk to as many people as I can and give as many ideas as I can to other people. So for the most part, I feel pretty good. The symptoms I'm hoping will subside. The tiredness and the dry mouth will hopefully go away. So yeah, for the most part, I've been, fairly symptom free and just trying to feel good and trying to do good to my body.
Good, good. Brandon, what about you? What kinds of things have you been experiencing lately that haven't been a problem in the past?
Well, I feel like a lot more just not motivated really. The hardest thing is for me is curbing all the cravings and stuff and changing free stuff, which I do not like sugar free at all. Um, I don't know. It's just not very fun.
Yeah. You
Change
know,
is hard.
yeah, change can be really hard, but change can be really good. And it's good for our bodies, but it's also good for our mind. And when we are positive about the disease that we have and positive on the outcome and the outlook of it, then others around us are going to be positive and they're going to be there for us. So, Danny, as far as your cravings for your bagel and your cream cheese, and Brandon, as far as your cravings for sugar and not wanting to change, I found the best thing for that is to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. And I know that that sounds super like something that a doctor would tell you. It's normal. But the thing is that those sugars are long lasting in our bodies. And so, Danny, you said you knew a lot about diabetes and you've done your research, and I'm sure you might know this, but these things are going to last longer and they're going to fill us up. So we're not going to feel like we have to be eating all the time. And that just might be some advice that you guys want to consider and teach other people. Um, eat, eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and that'll curb your cravings. Fruit is sweet, but it's still a long-lasting sugar, and that'll help you get through the day. Um, as far as resting, are you guys resting? Are you super tired all the time and you're not being active, or are you guys just feeling tired but you're still able to do things throughout the day?
I do feel tired throughout the day, but I'm able to like push through the fatigue. But come about like 7 o'clock at night, I'm done for. I'm spent. Even just the thought of chasing my kids around just makes me exhausted. Just even thinking about it. So past 7 o'clock, it's like I no longer function because I just am so exhausted. But I try to, stay busy and active during the day so that seven on down, I can justify lazing around.
Right. And any thoughts from you, Brandon?
Um, yeah, it's just kind of throughout the day it affects me. I feel like I take more naps than usual, and I'm just more sluggish and not do things.
Okay.
Well, and I was thinking what Ashley said, Brandon, and this might help you is with the fruit and vegetables, they kind of give you energy. I know it's not a lot of fun. If you can have a candy bar or an apple, obviously you would want the candy bar, but we kind of have to go with the apple now. But it's really made an improvement in my energy is when I incorporate more fruits and vegetables. So, maybe if you can incorporate a little bit more, that might help the energy level a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. Great thoughts. Okay, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about exercising. So Danny, I'll go to you first. What's your regular routine for your exercise on a daily basis?
Well, I do yoga in the
Okay.
mornings, and then I try to go out for a walk in the afternoons. I do change it up a little bit, but I'm pretty consistent with the yoga, and I'll either walk in the afternoons or do something a little bit more physical, get my heart pumping a little bit more, but I change it up a lot.
Okay. And Brandon, do you have a regular exercise routine, either daily or weekly? What's kind of your plan there to keep active?
Well, we have like a set. I don't um, really know what I should. Yeah, I can handle right now.
Okay.
So right now I've just been doing walks, not really regularly, but um, a few times a week.
Okay.
It's just kind of like whenever I feel like.
Okay. So just some thoughts for you guys to put out there and be willing to put in your input. The kind of exercise we want to focus on is cardiovascular exercise. So there's different kinds of cardiovascular exercises. Danny, you said you go on walks, and Brandon, maybe you can, incorporate that more on a daily basis, going on walks. Swimming, if you guys like to swim, that's a good one. Biking, I know biking is one of my favorite. I have really bad knees and really bad hips. And so something that I found for me is to go cycling, to go on a bike ride, change it up, go up, go downhill, go uphill. The main part of exercise, especially for diabetics, is we want our heart rate to be high. And Brandon, maybe, when you're starting out to get this exercise routine, maybe you can start with something, with a lower impact and something not quite as intense, because you don't want to try to do too much and then feel like a failure. So start low, but then slowly work your way up. This impacts our bodies. It helps us to burn fat, which internally is going to help get rid of the bad stuff that we don't want. This is going to help us to become a healthier person. And you need this. Everybody needs exercise, not just people with diabetes. In order to be a healthy person, we need to exercise for 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week. So if you could even go on like a fast walk, go with your wife, go with your kids, go for a fast walk for 30 minutes a day, and that's going to really change your body. Also dancing. I know little kids like to dance. I have 2 little kids, and they like to dance around the house. And so just doing something. We want to do something to get our hearts pumping. But it's important to understand that strength training is important for our bodies too. And we still need to lift weights, and that's going to help to build muscle as we lose our fat. That way we keep our body composition in a healthy manner. Danny, what's something that you think you can do better with exercise? What can you do to create a better plan?
Well, first I had a thought with what you were saying is another thing that exercise really does, or with me anyways, is it gives me more energy. I might be a little exhausted afterwards, but, my endorphins are flowing and stuff like that, so I just feel better. I feel more at peace. I just feel calmer. So that has helped me. When I incorporate exercise. I guess my one thing that I want to improve on is I do need to do more weight training. I do really none. And I guess I just, I guess I need to go to Target or something and get little weights and look up some different ways to do it. I don't have a gym membership, so I mostly just exercise on my own. And I probably also need to do a little bit more cardiovascular, get my heart pumping, because yoga's pretty low heart rate. My heart rate doesn't get too high on that. And walking, not so much. So I guess I probably need to start biking. That's great. I love to bike. So that's a good idea. And dance, too. I love to do Zumba and stuff like that. So I need to incorporate those more on a regular basis. So I'm going to try to set that goal.
Okay, that's really great. Also, remember that you don't just have to have weights in order to do strength or resistance training. You can use your body weight. So do curl-ups in the morning. Do a couple push-ups before you get in the shower. Do things like that where you're using your own body weight as your resistance. That way you're not feeling like you have to go spend a lot of money on these things that you might not use, We as diabetics can cure that for type 2. We can choose to have control. And if we reverse that, you might not want to be like, oh, I put all this money. But body weight exercise is something you can always do, and it'll keep you fit. Brandon, what about you? Do you have any goals that you would like to change about your exercise patterns? Anything that we can do as a group to help support you get on your road to change?
Well, I don't really know. I feel like it's kind of like I know what I need to do. It's just I'm the one that has to do it. I don't really know how any so.
Okay.
Motivation is super hard. It's really hard to get motivated sometimes. I feel that way too. I think for me the biggest thing that helps motivate me is I write it down. I write down what I want to do tomorrow, and I don't always get it done, and sometimes I ignore the list, but at least if I write it down, the next day I think, you know what, these are the things that I wanted to get accomplished. These are the things I need to get accomplished. Being healthy is more important to me than ignoring them. So I just try to keep my eye on getting healthy and being healthy, and that does help motivate me. I mean, I have days where all I want to do is sit on the couch for sure, but I just try to, and I think those days are okay sometimes too. We need to have relaxed days and lazy days, but I think it's all about reminding yourself that these steps are going to get me healthy, and being healthy is the most important. I want to be there a long time for my family. I want to see and do lots of things, and I might not get that opportunity if I don't start doing things now.
Right. That's great. So just to close our meeting, I had an idea, and I just wanted to run it past you guys. This is our first meeting, but I figure as people start to come and as we invite others to join us, maybe this would be something that would be fun. I had an idea of maybe organize a 5K or like a 1 mile, something of that idea, and then have a bunch of healthy snacks and water afterwards. Do you guys think that would be a good event to hold? Everybody could be involved, families could be involved, the community can be involved, but it would be something to help raise awareness for diabetes and try to get that out there. What are your guys' thoughts on having an activity like that in our community?
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea, and I'd be willing to do the majority of the work to get that put together. I would volunteer to do as much as I can, or as much as you'd let me do. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's a great community event to get awareness out there, and also to maybe educate people who are borderline pre-diabetic, like, okay, if you don't start making changes in your life, you are going to become diabetic, and these are the changes that need to be taken. I wish that I would have made those changes prior so that I didn't even have to worry about this. Getting back to a state of good health. So I think that's a fabulous idea. And like I said, I want to do everything.
Okay, that's awesome. Brandon, what about you? Would you be willing to participate or volunteer or do something to help us get that going?
I don't know. I guess I could try. Doesn't sound super helpful or even fun, but I guess so we'll see.
Okay. So maybe my next meeting, try to come up with something maybe that you would be willing to do, something that you think would make it more fun. We could even have a guest speaker. We could do different kinds of things to keep the awareness in our community. And Danny, I really like how you mentioned the pre-diabetics. I think that's a great idea. We don't want the young people of our community to think that there's no way out of their situation. I just want to thank you guys for coming, and we will meet here the same time next week. And I hope you guys have a great week.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. That actually was a lot better and easier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel, whew. I think there was just 2 questions that she wanted us to discuss at the end of it. Let me go find those questions real quick. The first one is, what did you find challenging as the facilitator?
I was running out of things to say. I was babbling.
I know, yeah, it is. It's hard, and it's hard sometimes when someone says a comment where you're like, come on, and then have to play off that comment or make them feel like, oh, even though you're being negative, I'm just going to ignore it, So I think that's the hardest thing, is kind of incorporating everybody's comments and going forth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard when someone, so like when I was a facilitator and Brandon was like, I don't know, and like, you can't do anything if you're not willing to change. Yeah. Like, you have to do it for yourself. And I was like, this sucks. I don't know I don't know what to say.
How am I supposed to motivate you?
Right.
Okay.
It made me feel it was difficult to keep the discussion moving sometimes, especially when you go on a tangent, and then just keeping the whole discussion moving forward and everybody involved and motivated in it. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Okay. And then the second question that she wanted us to talk about is, what did you learn in this activity about facilitating a support group?
I didn't think it was as hard as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I was running out of things to say, but I felt like you did a really good job at just talking. And so, like, as long as people are willing to participate, it makes the facilitator's job a lot easier, I think.
I agree.
I think we need to teach ourselves, like, teach each other, rather than, like, the facilitator doesn't need to sit and talk the whole time. They're just there to initiate, I think, is the most important part. And then the people of the support group, they actually are, like, motivating each other.
Right. They're just kind of there to direct the conversation and probably also to kind of encourage everyone to participate. So it's not just that one person talking the whole time.
Right. Right.
Okay.
I think it was helpful to learn about different type of group members that there could be. And then I think in facilitating a group, you just plan for hopefully going to handle it. And just situations for just have all your materials and everything that you're going to go over down.
Right. I think being prepared is probably the best thing that you can do. You know, so you're not coming in there having no idea what you're going to talk about, and 10 minutes into it, you're like, okay, I got nothing, you know, so that you can make use of your time well, and so that people want to come, you know, so it's not just this boring meeting where you're discussing random stuff that has nothing to do with whatever you're there for. So I think you both pointed that out, that, you know, coming prepared and stuff like that really helps make it run smoothly.
Yeah, and you want people to keep coming back.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to, like, guide, like, when someone goes off and, like, it's just talking, like, bring it back in, because you want people to be there to get their questions answered.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's right. Okay, well, I don't got anything else to say. What about you guys?
No, I think it went well, and it's done.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna it said that it takes about as long as the video is to upload it. So I'll probably let it upload tonight, and then I'll post it in the discussion board tomorrow, the link to it, in case you guys want to rewatch it. And then also that's where Sister Denton will come and view it and stuff like that. So I think after this, the assignment's over, right? I'll just post it. She'll view it. We don't have to do a write-up or anything, right?
I don't think so. I think we just had to put it in the discussion board.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, it's been great working with you guys.
Thank you.
It went so much better than I thought it was going to go, so it was so good.
Yes.
All right, then. Well, you guys have a good night, and enjoy the rest of the class, I guess.
All right, thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.